Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Plain Mundane Show. I'm Alex Aquarius, and in this show, we're going to talk about our reality, the matrix we live in, our holographic reality. I'm going to talk about the separation anxiety that we feel from the Creator. I'm going to talk about fear programmed into us, and then about unconditional love and self-love. Have you ever noticed that we're in this world, but one day I remember I was walking into a movie theater, across the parking lot after parking my car. I think my family was already in line or going in. I had the duty of parking the car, and I had this epiphany moment, and I just remember that right where I was in the parking lot when I just realized we're entertaining ourselves, which means literally between points to be distracted, entertain. So the whole concept of entertainment, even before I became an awake individual and got into wanting to have a channel and talk to you like this, I'd always thought, like, why do we need entertainment? Why do we have an entertainment industry? Why do we seek after entertainment? Why do we always have to be distracted? Distracted from what? What are we doing? What are we seeking after? Why do we fear being alone? A lot of these feelings that we have that I'm discussing are proof that there's a creator. If anything, it shows you, who are we? Where do we come from? Something special about this. I'm going to read to you a little bit of an excerpt I found about the Matrix, waking up, how we've been programmed in fear, and how we can learn to love ourselves, which will make us happier while we're here. Let me switch screens here for you. All right, we gave away our control. What? You might think now, but I have my free will. I can vote and I can buy all these great things that I want to have. I can choose where I want to live and travel, etc. Yes, true, but is it true freedom? Why do we feel incomplete then? Nature always does a perfect job in creating its beings and keeping everything in balance. So what went wrong with the human species? From a very young age, we are programmed. Societal conventions and behavioral patterns are ingrained into our system and mind at a very young age. Our parents teach us what they had been taught, generation by generation, not to trust any strangers, that the world is a dangerous place, that there's not enough for everyone, and that you have to be better than others to be able to make it in this world. They show us how a relationship should be and teach us the roles that we should take in life, being a good wife and mother, taking care of everyone and making everyone happy, being the successful and strong husband and father that earns enough money and protects the family. At a very young age, girls are taught how to look good and how to be attractive and how to be a good girl and behave helpless and weak so that you get a good catch later that takes care of you. Boys get programmed that crying and showing emotions other than anger is a sign of weakness. And not male at all. We go to school and we are taught a lot of rather useless things that are all just food for the head: history, politics, geography, law, etc. All things we learn to forget a big portion of again right away. We get grades to foster the competition between our fellow students. We learn to put conditions on everything and have expectations toward everyone. What we do not learn in school is teamwork, mindfulness, compassion, and being and appreciating our authentic self. We start our first job and believe what our parents and teachers told us. We have to work hard for our money and we need to be better than the rest. The competition continues. We're kept in a feeling of separation. There's that separation anxiety. We're told that we are alone and somehow have to make it through the boot camp of Earth, although we do not even understand why we exist. We do not question it because everyone is playing the same game, so it must be true. We watch TV or go to the movies and see Hollywood productions. They show us how our world should be in terms of romance or love, or show us the ugliness of this world and all the dangers and brutality. The news only talks about what is wrong in the world. Rarely do they talk about all these amazing good things happening every day on Earth that outweigh the bad news, big time. Commercials and marketing program us in terms of what we need to want in life and what is needed to be someone that is accepted in society. Church teaches us to be humble and feel guilty. The list goes on, to keep us in a state of fear, because fear makes us sure that we remain in a state of dependency, dependent on the government, dependent on your job, dependent on your partner, and so on. Someone who can be easily controlled with fear. Fear keeps us in a thinking pattern. that we're not good enough and not worthy to receive love and joy. So what is the solution? How could we ever manage to get out of this? It's all about self-love. The key is very simple, but quite hard to dig it up. In order to leave these patterns, we have to learn how to love ourselves. Leaving a pattern of fear and growing into a world of love is what we have to do. By doing this, all of a sudden we have access to complete new self. Actually, that is our original self, the one that we have forgotten and locked into a cage. The one that knows exactly what we want, the one that knows what love is and is able to give and receive love with each and everyone around. Sounds cheesy? Yes. That is not the love I'm talking about here. We look at unconditional love, a feeling of joy, awe, and bliss that you sometimes get a glimpse of, for example, when you are struck by the beauty of a moment in nature. In these moments, time has no meaning anymore. The head is completely shut off, and all there is an immense feeling of being at peace with everything. And you know what? This is how life is supposed to be permanently. To be in a feeling of oneness with everything and everyone around us. It all starts with self-love. As long as we don't love ourselves and do not feel good enough, we will stay in a place of fear. We will not be able to share our love freely and unconditionally, but will depend on the love of others. Have you ever met a person that seemed to be so at ease with him or herself, no matter what this person does, everything just seems to fall into place for them in a perfect manner? They seem to be always lucky, happy, and in the flow. And ask yourself what their secret is. Now you know they love themselves. They love to share, but they know the difference between unconditional giving and unconditional love. They keep healthy boundaries. They have rediscovered their intuition and follow it. They have silenced this 24/7 chatterbox inside their head. They have put their ego in the back seat so that it is not in the lead anymore. They have discovered how to live in the now. They have swallowed the red pill and have let go of everything they were programmed to believe was real. That is your choice too, red or blue. So, this is our choice, everybody. We live on this plane. We know we're in a third density. We know that every single atom and molecule in our body is made from the periodic chart of elements. Every single one of those elements has an atomic number, which means its atomic mass, and tells you how many protons, electrons, and neutrons are in it, which are all fractals of electromagnetic light energy, which only occupy less than a minuscule amount of 1% of everything that's in the atom. So the particles in the atom are further apart in relative distance than the stars that we see in the sky with the distances that the ball earthers put on it. So we're really made of nothing. We're just, when people say we're a hologram and we're light bodies, think of that. Everything your body is made of comes from the periodic chart. Every element has an atomic mass, which counts its protons, electrons, neutrons, and that's all you're made of, is pieces of light vibrating real fast. Zzz. Feels solid, but it's not really. It's just vibrating fractal pieces of atoms in a perfect form. It's all about vibration. Just think, if that vibration turned off, we would all just disappear. But the reality that when I say those things and I start talking about it, it sounds woo-woo to everybody. You know, it's like, hey, not made of light or anything like that, or that's a secret, or you might feel fearful and ashamed to say things like that, or if you mention it to your neighbor or someone in your family, they might think you're a little mad or delusional, right? But this is where we've been shut off, and this is where the fear started, and this is where we put ourselves in a cage, and this is where we've given away our own control of ourselves. We should be in a perpetual state of love, universal, cosmological love of everything that we're made of and where it comes from our source, our creator source. And if you're watching this show, you're researching flat earth probably. And that's one thing that the flat earth model teaches us over the ball earth, is that there's a creator. And we're on this plane, in this world, and there's a creator. And we come from that. Our souls are from that. And we're all one collective consciousness, but we've been separated into this body to go through this challenge. And at the same time, it doesn't have to be that way. In this dispensation or zodiac house, or whatever you want to call it, of Aquarius. It's opening up now where the knowledge is coming out, and we don't have to live in the cave or the way that we have been, in ignorance, taught to us and given to us by our religions and our separation from love and our being controlled under fear. If you studied anything about meditation, you know that the white light energy of the crown chakra is that white energy of pure love. And the lowest frequency in our body, in our kundalini chakras, is the red level, which is the lowest frequency, which is the frequency of fear. It's also the frequency of money, monetary wealth, and security, and fear. That's your red chakra, your sacral chakra. Anyway, that's it for this show, folks. Don't give up your control. Believe in yourself, love yourself, and have a good life. Please hit like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time on the Plain Mundane Show. I'm out. This is Alex.